Montana, 1895, before dawn. Picture this. You're standing on a frozen road outside Cascade, and a woman climbs onto a mail wagon 10 feet in front of you, somewhere around 60, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, cigar between her teeth, a .38 under her apron, a rifle across her lap as it belongs there. Born into slavery in Tennessee. Now the only thing between federal mail and a blizzard already killing livestock 2 counties over. She looks straight ahead, snaps the reins. The wagon disappears into the dark. You've never seen her in a Western. That is not a coincidence. Here's the number that breaks the myth. 1 in 4 cowboys on the post-Civil War cattle trails was black. Not a footnote, a quarter of the entire workforce. Bass Reeves, Bill Pickett, Nat Love, Mary Fields. Real people, documented, occasionally legendary, nearly erased from the genre they helped build. One industry decides what the West looks like on screen. None of them makes the cut. Something builds that wall. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it was. Start with Bass Reeves, born enslaved in Arkansas, 1838. He escapes into the Indian Territory during the Civil War and learns Creek and Seminole while on the run. In 1875, Judge Isaac Parker needed marshals tough enough to police 75,000 square miles of the most dangerous ground in America. Reeves gets the job, first black deputy U.S. Marshal west of the Mississippi. Over 32 years, 3,000 outlaws have been brought in. Men shoot at him constantly. Not one bullet ever lands. Then, Bill Pickett, born in Texas in 1870. He invents bulldogging, dropping off a moving horse onto a steer and wrestling it down by biting its lip. Rodeo still runs his technique today, but there's a fourth name. One of the history books is buried even deeper. Mary Fields was born into slavery in Tennessee around 1832. After emancipation, she works her way north. Riverboats, convents, odd jobs. Then word arrives that her closest friend, a nun named Mother Amadeus, has fallen gravely ill at a mission in Montana. Mary doesn't hesitate. She arrived at St. Peter's Mission near Cascade in 1885, hauls freight, repairs buildings, runs supplies through weather that stops other people cold. 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, cigar in her mouth, shotgun on her shoulder. When a co-worker refuses her authority, the argument ends with both of them reaching for their guns. The bishop steps outside. "Mary, you have to go." Removed, early 60s, alone, no income. She opens a restaurant and feeds people who can't pay until the money runs out. In 1895, the Postal Service awarded her a Star Route mail contract, the first black woman, only the second woman in American history, to carry U.S. mail. When snowdrifts swallow her wagon, she throws the sacks over her shoulders and walks on snowshoes. 10 miles, in the dark. One winter night, wolves knock her stagecoach over on a remote road. 60-something years old. Sub-zero temperatures. Wolves circling in the dark. She stands her ground, rifle up until morning. Losing the mail is not something she is willing to do. 8 years, not a single missed delivery. Gary Cooper, who grew up in Montana, later writes, "Born into slavery somewhere in Tennessee, Mary lived to become one of the freest souls ever to draw a breath, or a 38. None of this ever appears in a Western. Now watch what happens once the cowboy stops being a job and becomes a brand." By the 1880s, Buffalo Bill Cody was touring with his Wild West show. A roaring arena that defines what a cowboy looks like for the next century. Only one black rider, Jesse Stahl, makes the main lineup. At a rodeo in Salinas, California in 1912, Stahl draws the meanest horse on the grounds, Glass Eye, who has thrown every man before him. 4,000 people watch. Stahl rides him clean. The judges score him second. He climbs onto another horse, turns backward in the saddle, picks up a suitcase, and rides the full arena in reverse. Same crowd. He says nothing. He doesn't need to. The show people running those arenas walk into motion pictures 20 years later. Every unwritten rule walks in with them. In 1915, Griffith released The Birth of a Nation, highest-grossing American film for 24 straight years. It stamps a template: white men as heroes, black men as threats, never both brave and good in the same frame. Tom Mix, soon the most famous movie cowboy in America, performs alongside Bill Pickett for years at the 101 Ranch Wild West show. Same dirt, same arena, same crowds, only one ride off that stage and onto a screen. In 1922, Pickett was filmed. The Bulldogger was shot in Boley, Oklahoma. He is the headline, doing the exact bulldogging that made him famous. The film books only into segregated black theaters. Most prints are gone. Less than 2 minutes of footage survives on Earth. Hollywood doesn't fail to see a black cowboy who can carry a film. It sees one and builds a separate system to keep him off the main screen. Here's the part that should sit uncomfortably. This erasure is still fully operational when your grandparents are young, and works so completely that today most Americans can name John Wayne, but have never heard of Mary Fields, a woman who delivers federal mail alone, armed, through Montana blizzards in her 60s, without missing a single day. The history is never destroyed. It is never repeated. And the camera that never points at a person eventually convinces the world that the person was never there. Bass Reeves brings 3,000 men to justice without losing his own life once. Bill Pickett invents a sport that outlives every attempt to erase him. Mary Fields stands in sub-zero darkness, wolves circling, and chooses the mail over her own safety, because that is the job, and she said she would do it. None of them needs a camera to be extraordinary. They need someone eventually to say the name out loud.